Hello everybody and welcome to my channel and welcome to my first ever tutorial on YouTube. This is Martina and I'm very excited. I have been asked by some of you how I do these pretty tags, which are so colorful and so vibrant, and some of them are embossed, some others are just flat. And they come in different forms and shapes like this. For instance, this butterfly I love to use as pockets, for instance, or as decoration in my journals. Well, this is decoupage technique and it's not difficult and it's not invented by me. There are many other videos you can look at, but I thought maybe I can show you a little bit my design or my technique. I'm going to do a kind of a dry run, and as you might, just for your information, I'm here in my, let's call it a studio where I make my videos. This is not the area where I do my crafting, because my crafting space is very limited, very little space, and of course I cannot show it to you there because also it's very chaotic. I try to be more organized here and I try to be quick. So, but I'm going to tell you all the essentials so that you can try yourself. And this is something very important to note. Doing crafting is a lot about just trying. Be courageous, try it out yourself, make mistakes. Mistakes can be great stuff because you can turn mistakes into wonderful things. I often did that. So anyway, so these are the some examples of the tags which I used to do, and this is a butterfly. You can also come up with bigger things like this. It's an envelope. I've used the same technique, and of course you can use the envelope as it is for Happy Mail or as a present, or you can cut it, add it to your journal. You can even take out parts of it. So it's very versatile, and it comes always as a surprise when you do this kind of thing. It's very, how to say, relaxing doing it, because you are just by yourself and you do things and there is no right or wrong, and it's always, as I said, very exciting to see the end result. So I'm happy to tell you a little bit how I do it. What do you need? First of all, you do need napkins. And napkins typically come in 3 layers. You have the design layer and then you have 2 white layers. For this kind of technique, you only need the upper layer. You only need the design layer. And what I've seen on YouTube, and I love this because it's so easy, there's an easy way how to get rid of the white layers which you don't need. Take some sticky tape and do it like this, and then you can tear it away. And then this is the first layer, but you have another one. Do it the same way and you can tear this away like this. Very easy, very quick, and typically no mistakes. But even if you tear it, doesn't matter, because very often, in most times, I use only parts of the napkin. I don't use the whole napkin, because this is part of the game, that you can have a combination of different designs. As you can see here, this is a more muted one. This is some roses. This is book paper. And this brings me to the next thing. You do need, or I usually use book paper. And I love to use old book paper, because old book paper typically comes in wonderful writing types, and this one I love especially because it's an old dictionary, English-German, and it is very dark in color. You can see it here, for instance. This is the one, and I also try to combine it with some other old papers like this one. It also has this different typing style, and it adds interest to the thing. So what you then need as well is, of course, you need some base paper. And usually I use normal, either cardstock, it depends, or normal copy paper like this. So okay, and then what you also need is glue, because it's a gluing technique. You can use Mod Podge, or you can also make your own glue, and this is what I typically do. I use PVA or water soluble glue like this one here, so that's not advertising, it's just the one I use. Put a little bit in a glass or in a cup or wherever, add water to it, so make it a solution. I cannot really tell you how much you have to make it quite watery, because what you need to do is you need to attach the upper sides of this napkin, the book pages or any other page. You can use whatever you wish, you can try. You need to put it on this paper. And how do you do this? I show you, as I said, in a dry one. So I have here some torn book pages. I just position them somewhere on this page like this. Then I take this is some upper part of a napkin, position it somewhere like this, add some others. So, and I don't do it all at once. Typically I start with the book pages. Then I use and as I said, dry one. Then I use my solution, and with a soft brush and very gentle strikes, I attach the solution. Typically, if you have paper which is a little bit thicker, I first put the solution on the base paper, then I add it here like this, and then I add, as I wish, as it goes, as it comes, sometimes almost blindly, I add the napkins, like this, somewhere, somehow. One upon the other, doesn't matter, there's no right or wrong, you just can do it. It's just do, that's exactly the thing, just do. And you, as I said, it's like meditation. You just put the solution on, and you add, and you do, and whatever. So, once you have done that, what I also do is, because I like it, it's not a must. Nothing is a must, but this is what I do. I add some glitter, because the whole thing is a little bit sticky, and you can add the glitter and it sticks. So, this glitter or this glitter, there are different glitters. You can, as I said, use any color, whatever you want. Okay, so then it can look like that, for instance. This is one of the pages I recently did. And here you can see I added some, maybe you can see. You can see first of all the book page. Here and there. Then you can see some glitter over there. What I also did, and I just started to do this recently, I used some gold flakes. I think this also gives a very nice effect. And what you also can see here is that I've used very different napkins, different designs, and I've added one upon the other, like I wished, like it happened. And there are different ones, like this one. It's a different color scheme, it's more light. And then this one is more dark, and here you even see a kind of a butterfly. So, and then the next thing is also very interesting and very, I think this is the fun part. So this is the relaxing part, making this, and then the fun part starts, because I cut it. And I have a big shot, so I can use my die cuts, so the metal die cuts, to make the tags or the butterflies or whatever. And sometimes what I do is, if the paper is not too thick, I put one upon the other, and I just do. And then you see what comes out. And what comes out usually is very nice. And just to show you again, like this. Like that, you see it just happens, and I love it. And if you don't have a big shot, or if you don't have the possibility to have a kind of a machine who can do this for you, of course you can cut like you want. And the next thing I do is very often, not always, but very often, is I emboss it. And as I said, I have this big shot, so I can use this embossing folders, and I can create this kind of you can see it maybe better here, this kind of a pattern, and it gives another thrill to it, another bliss to it, because the different things pop out much better. So excuse me. So yeah, well, so this is what I do. And finally, the last thing I do is I add varnish on it, because it's paper. It can be delicate, and I have typically I tend to use glossy varnish, because I love it a little bit more glossy, but you can also use matte varnish. Then it's really secure. Also the glitter sticks even better, although it's glued and it sticks anyway, but it does even stick much better. And sometimes I also sew around it. So this is how I do it, and it's not a real tutorial, I know, but I hope that I could tell you a little bit about the technique I use. I hope that I could also convey that it's easy and it's fun and you just can do it, and it's a nice thing. It's meditation, it's excitement, it's all in one. So go for it and let me know if you liked the way I described it to you, and I would love if you comment on that. Thank you very much. Bye bye, Martina.